Let's go, baby. Alright. It is Saturday. Hope you guys are having a fantastic weekend. Your boys cooked. Yesterday was easily one of the hardest days for me in terms of the diet. It's been just around 5 weeks. We took it rather aggressive to start. Now we're cruising at around just under 1% body weight per week. I want to see myself do this for at least 6 weeks, ideally 8 weeks. 8 weeks I'll be shredded, more than shredded. I'll be peeled in 8 weeks if I can continue it, but we'll see. We're going to take it one day at a time. Everyone's liking the dieting content and the tips and stuff like that, so I'm gonna stick with that being the talking points of these videos because I feel like I'm helping people. So another thing too is the mic situation. I know it's annoying, it's hard to hear me because I'm driving, but just bear with me. I mean, I like to listen to music while I'm driving. It's kind of like my routine. Oh, what a song. Yeah, it's like my routine, so I'm gonna keep it. If anybody knows how to get an external mic, like the DJI Mic 2, so that I can record with iPhone and listen to music in my car, yeah, hit me up. That'd be great. Okay, today's topic is going to be about sticking to your diet. All things craving, satiety, hunger, lower energy, binging, cheat days, all that stuff, right? We talked about how to, we'll start over, okay? We'll make a brief guide, almost like one of those animes or TV shows where it's like previously on. So first step to dieting, find your maintenance. Your maintenance is going to consist of your basal metabolic rate, which is within your TDEE, your total daily energy expenditure. So yes, your maintenance consists of your movement. A lot of people forget that. You have the amount of calories that it takes to keep your body functioning if you were in a coma, so to keep your body fat where it is. And then you're going to have your thermic effect of food, the amount of calories it takes to digest your food, and then you're going to have your non-exercise and exercise activity thermogenesis. Non-exercise activity thermogenesis is your fidgeting, you keeping posture. Exercise activity thermogenesis is your steps, your cardio, your training, yada, yada, yada. So you just go on Google, find a calculator. I forget the specific name of it. It starts with an M. Is like the most accurate one, especially if you know there's gonna be a bunch of different calculations, but if you know your lean body mass, which let's be real, if you know me, you know what I'm gonna say, you have more body fat than you think, then you can use your lean body mass to kind of estimate your maintenance. This is just gonna be a brief number. You're gonna stick to this calorie amount for at least 2 weeks. Assess your body weight. Depending on how your body weight trends, that is going to dictate whether or not you're at caloric maintenance. And then depending on how much body fat you have on your frame, that is going to dictate how fast you are physiologically able to lose body fat. If you are 20%, which most people are, then you could lose upwards of 1.5 to 2+% a week. If you are around 15%, it's going to be 1 to 1.5%, probably nearing closer to the 1. If you are between 10 and 15, it's going to be ideally below 1% body weight per week. And if you're below 10% body fat, it's going to be 0.25 to 1% body weight per week. These are random ranges. These are ranges that can be estimated by taking a number between 13 and 20, which is going to be based on the Alpert study, as well as a bunch of other research looking at maximum fat oxidation rates. You take your body fat percentage or estimated body fat percentage and you divide it by 13 and 20, 20 being extremely conservative, looking at maximizing muscle retention, and then 13 being rather extreme. And again, remember, lean body mass does not equal muscle mass. lean muscle mass is skeletal muscle mass, contractile proteins, amino acids, etc., etc. That is within lean body mass, but a lot of lean body mass is muscle glycogen and water. Now that we have that out of the way, my preference when you're dieting is to track expenditure through steps. Not necessarily cardio. Majority of people do not need cardio. Just track your steps, boost your steps up to 10, 15, 20K. 20K is not too much. If you're starting to push above 20K, I would argue that it's probably more efficient to do cardio for that additional expenditure. Remember, the reason why we do steps or expenditure or cardio in a diet is so that we can keep our calories higher. Why do we want to keep our calories higher? Because we want to fuel training. What matters in a diet is we want our training performance to maintain or increase, ideally increase if you're more of a beginner or if you're in less of an aggressive diet. So what do we need? We need enough carbohydrates to fuel training. We need sufficient adequate protein, which is going to be 0.8 grams per pound of body weight. If you are obese, you can choose 1 gram of protein per centimeter of your height, or you could do 0.8 grams per total target body weight. Okay, now that we're done that's perfectly fine. Yes, I'm aware Lyle McDonald likes 1 to 1.5 grams of lean body mass. It's his preference. You can look at the literature how you want. I personally don't believe that you're going to need more than 0.8 grams per pound of body weight. If you want to push up to 1 gram per pound of body weight, that's perfectly fine, especially as you get leaner. Your lean body mass and your total body weight is going to be relatively close. Okay, now that we have that out of the way, let's talk about what makes you hungry. So you're going to have 2 hunger hormones. One is called leptin. This is produced by your adipose tissue, your fat tissue. The more fat you have, the less leptin, because you're going to feel more satiated. The more body fat you have, as you start peeling away body fat, you're going to have more leptin when you have more body fat. As you start peeling away body fat, you're going to have less leptin, meaning that you're going to be hungrier. And then you have your ghrelin hormone, which is within your gut, and this is going to make you feel satiated after you eat. So a big issue with people when they're dieting is they just eat food so fast. So they don't have enough time for your other hunger hormones, your satiety hormones, like I believe it's CCK, PYY, and GLP-1, correct me if I'm wrong, as well as ghrelin. If you're just chowing down food without any sort of time, you're not taking your time and chewing the food and feeling the texture and actually like being present while you eat, that is one tip. So that's number 1 tip for reducing cravings, is actually be present while you're eating. Chew a bunch of times, feel the food in your mouth. Okay, that's number 1. 2, we have something known as, this is going to be hard for me to remember. I can't remember the term. Anyways, it's if you fill your diet with more bland foods, you are going to not want to eat as much. The issue is when people get into a dieting phase, they want to eat every single sugar-free sauce and drink and everything sweet and everything tastes delicious. And the issue with this is it makes you crave sweet and delicious things. So when you're having your oatmeal, just put some salt in it. That's it. That's all you need. You don't need sugar-free syrup and all this stuff. It's fine to have your food taste bland. When you are dieting, I would much rather you stick to the same foods every single day. So limit variety and limit palatability. So don't use sugar-free everything. Relax on all of the flavors. Keep things nice and bland. This is going to help your satiety and keep hunger down significantly. That's 1. Number 2, so we got chew your food and be present while you eat. We have keep the variety and the palatability of your food down. So eat the same things, make them bland. Okay. 3, make sure you're staying hydrated. A lot of the time when you're craving something, it's because you're thirsty. It's you're thirsty or you're bored. A lot of people eat based on emotion. They're bored, they're stressed, and that's why they eat. You're not actually hungry, you're bored. So go do something, okay? Keep yourself busy. That's tip number 3. So make sure that you are keeping yourself busy and make sure that you're staying hydrated. Drink a glass of water before every single meal. I think that's tip number 4. Number 5 is realize that you're going to be hungry. Being hungry means that you are most likely in a calorie deficit. Not necessarily, it's not exactly correlated, but if you're in a calorie deficit, you're going to be hungry, right? So change that thought process from, oh, I'm hungry, I'm starving, I need to eat, to, okay, I'm burning fat, and that is the goal, right? You are depriving yourself of energy because you want to lose body fat. So remind yourself that being hungry is okay, and being hungry is something that you're gonna have to cope with. So that's number 5. Number 6 is you're not some bikini chick, right? If you're a dude, let's not follow every single food page on Instagram and TikTok and look at how to make 150 calorie apple pie bites with protein and all this stuff. It's just like, grow up, seriously. It's actually ridiculous how many times I see clients or people, like, there's one thing, okay, we want to make our food taste good, but in all honesty, you don't when you're dieting. You actually want your food to be bland and not as palatable, and that leads me back to the tip number 2. So number 6, I think we're on, is stop watching cheat meals and people eating goy slop, because all that it's going to do is take you off track. So keep your head on. Don't watch those types of videos. It's not going to be beneficial whatsoever. That leads me to cheat meals are unacceptable in a diet. They turn into cheat days. The amount of times that it leads to binges, it's not worth it. You can have scheduled refeeds, but these scheduled refeeds are going to be held until you need them. And the main reason for a refeed is to improve performance and sustain performance in the gym. That is going to be the main thing, because you are depleted and you're trying to refill muscle glycogen so you can continue pushing. What else? Number 7, realize that you chose this path. Nobody has forced you. You are lucky, you are fortunate to be able to deprive yourself of calories. There's people out there in the world that are not able to do that. So you realize that you are a grown adult, or maybe a teenager, whatever, and you have chosen this path. It's temporary. You have chosen it, and it is temporary, and it is fine to be hungry. We don't have to mope and we don't have to cry. It's perfectly okay. I feel like I'm being very negative, but I'm just saying this because I'm passionate about it, and I feel like a lot of people will be able to relate, because a lot of these are relatable tips. So another thing too is high volume foods. Everyone talks about high volume. So things like shirataki noodles, konjac noodles. Sometimes they don't digest well for some people, but for me, it's great. Lettuce, zucchini, cucumber. Foods that are very high on the satiety index, meaning that they're going to make you feel fuller for longer. We have things like, remember, boiled potato. This is a boiled potato with nothing on it. We're not talking about cheese and fat-free sour cream and all this other stuff. That leads me back to the keep your foods bland. It's not going to be the highest on the satiety index if you air fry it and you put sugar-free ketchup, and just literally have the boiled potato. If you don't want to eat a boiled potato with like salt and pepper with nothing else on it, you're not hungry, you're bored, okay? So that is that's probably the best tip, is you're not hungry, you're bored, or you're not hungry, you're thirsty. So, or you're emotionally stressed. So bland boiled potato, bland oatmeal, oranges, these are very high on the satiety index. They're going to make you feel fuller for longer. So these are foods that you should keep in your arsenal to keep hunger at bay. What else? higher fiber, right? Specifically soluble fibers. So oats, beans, lentils, legumes, things like that. These are going to make you feel more satiated. And take your time while you eat. Take your time. Make sure that you have that glass of water prior to your meal. I swear I had some more, but you know what? We'll save that for another video. So again, I don't even know what the hell I've been talking about this whole time, but hopefully you guys have a fantastic rest of your weekend. I'm about to go train. Let's get it.